Well, hey everyone. How are y'all doing? Just thought I would do a little live stream tonight. It's almost 9 o'clock East Coast time here. What y'all been up to? It's funny. Continues to amaze me that the comments that you get on videos. It's I don't know. It's always people questioning what you're doing where you're at when they live nowhere near you and have a totally different climate than you do. So that it's just interesting. Thank you there, Icy Mountain. Appreciate you. But it's I get it. I get what they're saying. I'm not going to call any names, but it's just crazy. Hey, Sharon, Ed, Russell, we got Randy there, and Robert, James, Stuffy, Morgan, Randy Klingon, Hope Sadler. Good to see y'all. Just figured I would see what everybody was doing tonight. So let me see if I can pull it. Where is it? Oh, this is what I'm looking for. There we go. Let's see if I can. We'll do the entire state of the states here. So this is current weather, right? So I'm right here. It's about right. About 55 degrees right here where I'm at. And maybe 54. And that's right now, right? So it's very different if you live in, I don't know, let's say Fargo, North Dakota, or St. Paul, Minnesota. Very different climates, right? So, I mean, matter of fact, if you look at this, it's a little bit yellow in here, not just green. So, yeah, different climates, different temperatures. I can get away with a few things down here that maybe, like feeding pollen supplement and stuff like that to keep brood stimulated because it's pretty warm. Hey, Charlie. What's going on?
Oh, not much. Not much. Just, getting through the day.
I was just doing a little bit of a weather thing here. I get questions a lot, like when people watch my videos, but they don't watch, I don't think, all of them, right? So they just catch like some of them, and then they'll say, well, why are you doing this? Because there's a dearth or whatever, and you're stimulating them to rear brood. And I'm like, it's 70 degrees during the day.
Yeah, I've seen that on your live today, and I'm like, really? And it was barely 51 today here. I did put a pollen bucket out to help them. Yeah, I'm kind of like wanting them to keep on raising some brood, but if they don't have any, like you said, in your hives, you're not seeing a whole lot of pollen.
Right.
I'm figuring, well,
a lot of brood. I'm seeing frames of brood, right? Which
I've seen not a whole lot of brood, a little bit of eggs and stuff. They're shutting down pretty good here. I did have a problem child hive there, that the one that I shook out, and then I took a nuke, replaced it, and then I put that nuke in a 10 frame, and I did find the queen over, I think it was the weekend, one of the days here that was really warm. I think it was Saturday. It was about close to 60 degrees, and I found the queen. I said, okay, that's all I need to see. Right. But there wasn't any pollen in there. A lot of capped honey. So I went over there with a hive tool and got myself a hive tool load of pollen powder and sprinkled it on top of the frames in the hive on both boxes to give them something to eat. Because the next 2 days here, tomorrow and the next day, maybe to 3 days, it's only going to get into 40s.
Well, I mean, here we are right now, the 4th of December. And I think it's hard when people are in different geographic locations. I know it is for me to picture, like in Canada, they're doing things like we're already, put this into perspective, guys. we've already harvested our honey before Ian and those guys start their honey flow. Before they even start it, we're already done. So,
and they're already got their bees in the barn before we even think about putting them away, or
right. I mean, it's, you'll see Clay says his are hitting the pollen feeder too. So my thing is, I don't know. I guess it's the chicken or the egg thing, right? Am I putting pollen in there to get them to raise brood, or am I putting pollen in there because they have brood and I'm trying to keep them fed, right?
That's what I'm doing.
So it's
I want you got to remember something here, that the bees are feeding the brood royal jelly. Where is it coming from? It actually is made in the worker bees' body, or out of their things up in their heads, and they excrete it out. Well, they have to have nectar, and they got to have pollen. They have to eat that, digest it, in order for them to generate the royal jelly.
So I mean, I understand.
But,
I think
people get the conception that they're feeding pollen to the larvae. They're not.
They're eating it.
They're consuming the larvae, or the pollen and the nectar, and then their bodies actually excrete the royal jelly.
Well, I think, when you start looking at, and this is just from what I've gathered, right? I'm not a northern beekeeper, so I can't, all I'm doing is regurgitating northern facts that I hear, right? That they shut down. They're in the snow. They're not doing anything. They're sitting in there. And you come down here and it's December 4th and it's 70 plus degrees outside, and they're flying like they think it's March 1st, right?
Yeah.
But there's nothing for them to forage. So I'm not necessarily trying to, well, I am. I mean, truth be told, I want them to be as big as they can be in the spring, right? But not feeding them or not giving out a supplement or something is not really an option here, because they will starve out if they don't have things available to them.
Well, like Titrone there, I guess that's how you pronounce his name, Titrone. And that's true. That's exactly right. I mean, and that, as far as whether, if you have lots of jelly in the larvae, if you see that in the summertime, that is a key, whether or not they're getting enough nutrition in.
Right. Well, they've been, they're building wax, for God's sakes. I mean, that hive I went in yesterday, you could see it was nice, white, new comb they were drawing out. And I haven't been putting out any liquid feeds. So, I did today, I put some out, but it didn't even look like they touched it. Right. So,
right. Well, like you say, I mean, you're still in the summer. To me, you're still summer.
Well, I mean, it's 54 right now at night, but it was 70.
Yeah, but I'm talking about 70 degrees. If you're getting 70 degrees on a daily basis down there.
Well, I mean, I can go, like, I went in that little ground zero hive. I mean, it had 2.5 frames of brood in the middle of December. So it's like,
all right, what's it going to be in January?
Probably 5 frames.
5 frames?
Probably.
So you don't shut down at all.
No. That's where I think the disconnect is, right? We always want to look at things through our area, right? Does that make sense? If you came down here, you would look at it and be like, crap, like Ian comes down, he's never seen a hive beetle in his life other than on the internet, right? So, I mean, I think we have, and that's natural. I mean, I think it's natural. We all look at things through the way we do things, based on the way that our climate is and what we've got, right?
I looked at that. I got that one nuke. It's only 5 frames, which I don't like going to the winter that way at all. And it's a light hive. It doesn't have population like I like. And you're talking about hive beetles. I'm like, oh my God, I've seen a hive beetle. A hive beetle. One.
No, you saw me peel back that thing and the beetles go on the top.
I seen one going across the comb going in and out of the cells. One.
Right.
I'm like, uh-oh, I got to kill that one.
Well, I mean,
Hey, Steve.
with the feed situation though, I mean, they're doing pretty good on liquid stores. Just not a lot of pollen. And those pollen patties that I put in when I came back from the show, they're gone. They ate all of them. So, I mean, next month, we start looking at when the days we're going to start to split. And do we have drones? And you know what I mean? In January, and start doing things in February. I mean, I had drones in the colony yesterday walking around. So,
well, see, now that's the thing about your beekeeping in your area with your weather and the way your bees
it's going to go just
through the cycle of the year is that you're going to have to figure out what works for you when it comes to mite treatments, when you're going to do that, and what you're going to use. And like right now, you're like, okay, I threw a pile. I don't know. Did you throw a 1 pounder on there or just a half a pound?
I was splitting them in half pound.
You put a half a pound on. They ate them up before the hive beetles got a hold of them, I presume.
Yep.
So you got 3 frames of brood in there.
Well, it's pretty much like anything else. If they didn't want it or didn't need it, they wouldn't eat it.
Well, you're going to find one thing. If you don't have any pollen out in the real world, they're going to eat that.
You see that? You see what Randy just said?
Where's Randy at? Okay.
Randy, he said, guys in Georgia that are going to California to pollinate almonds that I know have been feeding pollen patties for the last month.
Mm-hmm. So they're pumping their bees up so they can make grade when they
got to have a box of bees, right?
They got to have I just seen it online here someplace. If you have so many frames, they're going to pay you this. If it's, wall to wall, then you'll get your $225 a box.
Right.
But if it's like 8 frames, it's so much. It's a $195. And if it's 6 frames or whatever, now I'm sure that
got the new Better Bee catalog today.
What's the breeder? What's the queen breeder out there?
Cutic?
No, out in Cali.
Jose?
Jose, he could tell you all that. So what I'm thinking here is you got frames of bees, and the bees are going to be pumping up here in another month or so. So it sounds like to me you're the one that needs 40 pounds of pollen patties, and you need to be throwing the pollen to them.
Yeah.
Keep what I'm getting at is you're trying to build them bees up into a box of bees if they're not a box of bees, and you need to be throwing the stuff to them. So when the honey season hits, you got yourself a box of bees, and you got the forage force to get out there and get with it.
Yeah, DC put, Bob, gonna have to dial in beekeeping for your area and your bees. Yep, it keeps you thinking. Yeah, I mean, it really does, right? And I can't say I've got it dialed all the way in. I was always afraid of putting pollen patties on because of the hive beetle slime, right? Hive beetles are not so bad right now this time of year.
But you also put the trays underneath, which has helped tremendously.
It has, but I've still got some though. Uh-oh. Road Noise McNally. Hey, Road
How
Noise
McNally.
Hey, guys.
How you doing?
Actually, it's these roads in Mississippi. That's what's creating the noise.
Are you in Mississippi right now?
I am in Mississippi.
Northern Mississippi.
You betcha. We have been burning up the highway miles.
Well, how far do you got to your destination?
2 hours and 48 minutes.
Oh, so you'll be able to do what you got to do down there tomorrow first thing.
That's what the plan is. Yeah, we're hoping to. So go take a look and see whether it was worth the trip.
I hope so.
I hope so too.
2,500-mile trip. It better be, by
Yeah.
God.
Well, if it is, it is. If it isn't, we've seen some country. Let's put it that way.
You've seen a lot of country. I just know you're going to have two of one thing before Charlie has one of them.
Well, I know, but we can't tell Charlie what that is yet.
He's thinking right now. He's like, what could that be?
I know what he's picking up in Mississippi.
You don't know probably everything he's picking up in Mississippi.
No, I'm pretty sure not everybody knows everything we're picking up in Mississippi. So,
I know I don't know everything you're picking up. I know most of it, I think, or some of it.
well, you guys will have to watch the video tomorrow. So
Okay.
the plan is to get done what we need to get done. We are going to film a bunch of it, and then if everything goes as per plan, well, actually, we're going to film it no matter how it goes, and then we will upload it on our way back, whether we are loaded or not.
That sounds like a plan. That way, if we hear the sun, if it starts off, dun, 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 then we know what happened.
Yeah. So what are you guys talking about tonight?
We're just talking about different geographical areas and basically doing things a little bit differently in different areas. And, like the fact that I was feeding pollen sub today. And, some people chastised me for it and some people didn't. And I was like, it's 70 degrees here. The bees think it's spring.
Well, you know what? Alan and I were talking about this as we were coming down here. So, I mean, we've basically encountered every weather pattern you think you could find between here and Grand Prairie, Alberta. And, I mean, where we are down here right now, we were talking about that. I mean, there's not anything for nectar down here, but your bees would be flying, and that's what we were saying. We'd be basically feeding the sugar water and the pollen sub to keep that brood cycle going, and you need it to replace the bees that you're going to lose because they're flying.
Yeah, that's kind of now. I haven't really done much pollen feeding in the past, especially like patties because of the hive beetles.
Right.
But that dry sub, they're on it pretty good. Is it the same as regular pollen? No, but when the bees hatch out, they'll go eat it. I know that much.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a pollen substitute. The bees are going to take whatever they can find or the best of what they can find, and they'll use it accordingly, right?
Right.
That's the biggest thing I've noticed amongst the Canadian beekeepers like yourself, James, is that you all have a much different mindset about your bees and the way you think about flight and all that kind of stuff, where we don't even think about that, where you're looking at flight means diminishing of your bees, and you're worried about having enough bees come springtime because you got to have them basically bolt out of the gate in order to do your honey harvest because of your short season up there. And we don't even think about that down here. And it's quite interesting, that now we should sort of think about that. It's just what you stated there. Well, you're going to have to feed your bees with the pollen and the nectar in order to have enough bees come springtime. Well, we've never even thought about that down here. And that's never really been discussed in our area and all.
Well, and it's interesting because, I mean, the bees are the bees, no matter where they're at. They're going to be, the life cycle of the bee. You guys have heard me say that lots, right? But whether it's here or up there or wherever you're keeping them, that life cycle is still going to be the same. There's been lots of evidence out there to show that, you know, the lifespan of a bee is proportional to the flight time. So I mean, that's nothing new. That's nothing that, you know, I came up with, or the Canadians came up with, or anybody came up with. I
Well,
mean, that's just a well-known fact.
I think you're a little bit wrong there. Where I think what's the guy up here that Ian talks about, the retired science guy?
Oh, that's the same person that.
Yeah, so you're talking about Lloyd.
Lloyd, yes, Lloyd. You know, I don't think you hear his work down here in the States like it is up, of course, up there. And I think he looked at the bees and their life cycle in a different way compared to the science guys that, you know, we hear today at, you know, let's say down in Georgia, at Maryland, at the bee lab, and they don't look at the bees in the same perspective, you know, because I don't
Well, the
think
one thing I was going to say, the one thing I can tell you, so I have all of Lloyd's data. Lloyd was gracious enough, and Lloyd is gracious enough. I think he will supply that data to anybody who asks for it. Like, he is a great guy.
Yeah, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm getting at is that the science folks down here, I think you have different, like I say, the weather conditions and the condensed season plays a huge part in your beekeeping, where down here we have this longer bee season, and the importance of how long that bee lives as a whole is, you know, it's not as of a major difference, I guess.
So yeah,
important.
I mean, it's kind of, so where you're at right now is probably just about due west of where I am at, right, James?
Yeah, well, we just left Memphis, crossed the Mississippi border about 20 minutes ago, Alan? About 20 minutes ago. So, I mean, that's kind of where we're at.
Well, when you cross I-20 runs right through my town, so that's kind of like the east-west interstate there. But I mean, you guys see the climate difference, right? So I guess where I'm trying to combat what I've got going on is I still have bees. I still have brood, right? They're not clustered. There's no feed for them out there. They have plenty of liquid feed, stored honey, no problem, but very little pollen. So
exactly. So let's back up a little bit here. Let's ask this question. So you said you have brood. So what do your bees need in order to raise that brood? What do they need pollen. They need a sugar source or an energy source. So they need a protein source. So we're talking sugar, water, and pollen, right?
Right. Well, that's I mean, so I guess
if I was just gonna say, if I was down here right now, you know, I'm looking around and I mean, we watched, you know, actually I've been trying to watch for I finally saw a possum, but I've been trying to watch for a raccoon.
Wait till you see an armadillo.
You know, so well, we haven't seen an armadillo yet, but we're gonna look for that too. But we've seen what we have for forage down here, and if I was down here, that's what I would be, my own, from what I see, and I could be completely wrong, but I would be rationing the pollen. I would be rationing the sugar water to them. I would keep that brood going. I'd make sure that there's a brood pattern going there, and then learn when my forage starts to blossom and when that nectar starts to go, and then I'd back that calendar up so that, you know, I would hammer the pollen sub to them, and I'd hammer the sugar water to them in time so that when that nectar starts, they're going full bore.
Well, so like right now, it's very easy to tell. If I put out, let's say even a cup of pollen sup in something, on the outside. If they go to it, no, there's no pollen, right? They can't find any pollen. If I put out liquid feed and they don't go to it, that means they have nectar out there somewhere, some source that they're finding. They'll fly right past the syrup.
Well, or they're prioritizing what they need. So maybe they're prioritizing, you know what, we've got syrup or sugar stores. We need pollen stores.
Yeah. So, I mean, I put out about, I mean, if you took a spray can, right, a spray paint can, I took three of the caps full with pollen supplement and just dumped it out in a Tupperware dish and let them go to it. I mean, it's not like, I mean, we're talking for 3 cups for 30 hives, right? So it's not like this crazy, I'm not dumping a 50-pound bag out for them to go get. I'm just giving them something.
Right. So you're doing almost exactly what I was saying. You're going to ration the pollen and you're going to ration the sugar water. But I'd keep that brood going. And the reason I'd keep that brood going is because your bees are flying.
Which means they're dying.
So which means they're dying. Their lifespan is getting shortened up. So I would make sure that I kept that brood cycle going, whether that brood ball was the size of I'm going to think probably a softball. I would make sure that, I would check them from time to time until I learned what it was going to take to keep that going. And, and that's what I would be looking at feeding to each one of the hives.
Well, they're going to get probably tomorrow a dose of pollen patty on everybody.
Did you lock one in like we were talking, Bob?
No, I never locked it in. I had one. Chicken. I know. I'm chicken. I lose enough hives without.
Well, you know what? I've got one that I left outside, and it is still open. I remember how everybody was saying, well, I should do the same thing. So I've got one that's outside, and it's still open. So we'll see how it goes.
Thank you, Randy. Appreciate that. So we're I don't know, I do like to do, I hate to say experiments, but I do my own like little trials, right? Things I try and stuff like that. But so my mentor, Sam, is a great guy. But what he does with his hives is different from what I have to do with my hives, because his hives never turn into, very rarely do they get to double 10 frames or higher, right? I mean, it's usually 5 frame or 5/5 or a double 8 or something like that. But he's not making boxes of bees per se. I mean, he does.
He makes nukes, right?
Yeah, so he's constantly splitting to nukes. So when you go to one of his colonies, for the most part, they're smaller, weaker, gentler colonies, right? They don't have any attitude because they haven't gotten like overwhelmingly big. So when it gets to that point, well, what does he do? He splits it into another nuke, right? Because that's where his money is, in nukes, where I'm making more money on honey. So I need to go ahead and I mean, I think at this point of the game, I feel really good. Of course, we still have our coldest days ahead of us, right? For us, I mean, we've got some nights this week that is supposed to get to 28, 29 Fahrenheit, which is below freezing, right? So that'll be like a -1 Celsius.
Yeah, well, when we came through
-2.
South,
-2.
when we came through South Dakota, Alan and I are walking around in t-shirts. Everybody else around there is in like tubes and mitts and gloves.
Oh,
we're like,
below
hey,
50 degrees, the hoodies go on, man. Hoodies. Which was funny. I had to laugh at Ian because he came down here. He had like a leather coat on, and I had a hoodie. I said, "Why is the Canadian wearing the jacket and the Southerner's just wearing the hoodie?" I was poking fun at him a little bit, but I'm trying to see if I can go back. Oh, full forecast.
Yeah, I was going to say, Alan is always cold, so he only took his winter coat off this morning.
Oh, I'm cold like that too.
No, I mean ski coat. Like, I mean heavy duty, something I'd wear middle of January shoveling the snow.
So you can see the screen, right? Even though you're not.
No, I can't. I can't
Okay.
see the screen. You'll have to tell me what's going on there.
All right. Well, let me share my screen, the entire screen, just to give people a kind of an idea what we've got here. I'll go to full screen layout. So our lows do get like tonight is supposed to get down to 38, right? And then 40, 29. I mean, freezing overnight is our low. But when I say that, literally, there's about I don't know, 7 a.m. is supposed to be 39, but 2 hours later it's supposed to be 46, right? So
exactly. Yep.
When I'm saying low, it's just like dipping down and hitting that and coming back up, right? And every day, like Tuesday, 62, 56, Wednesday, 55, 60, 68, 62. Every day, it's flying weather.
Yep.
So I know there's a lot of places that don't get that, and maybe it's hard to visualize that, right? That we get that weather, and we're talking, it's December, right? It's Christmas time, Santa's coming, all of that stuff, and it is.
Yeah.
Mark wants to know are you on Highway 55, James?
I am on I-55. You got her. Yep. And Alan and I have decided we got to make sure we get back home because Christmas down here without snow is just wrong.
Well, we'll be wearing probably shorts and flip flops. Last year
we have a snowball fight, man.
Last year on New Year's Eve, it was 78 degrees here.
Yep. I don't know. Call me Canadian or whatever you want, but Christmas has got to have the snow. It's got to have the sit in front of the fire. That's just the way I am. I guess I'm just a crazy Canadian.
So let's see.
Hey, you know what? You guys often complain about the cost of your fuel. Alan and I have come to the conclusion they're just about giving it away. We figured out it was like 73 cents a liter is what we're paying down here. In fact, our hotel bills are going to be, just as much, if not more, than what our fuel bill is.
Do you have ethanol in your fuel up there or no?
We do, yeah, up to 10%. I burn premium, so most of the time there's no ethanol in it.
Now watch when you get down there. If you got the little thing that says distance to empty, right? Next time you fill up, I'm pretty sure it's going to be quite a bit further you can get on a tank of gas than you could with some other fuel. Because when I was down there, my little gas gauge said that basically 100 miles extra to the tank just using the regular in my tank.
You're talking about straight gas?
It's just got less or no ethanol in it down there.
Oh, I mean, the thing of it is ethanol does not combust as well as gasoline. And that's the big fallacy that they put over you, where you're not saving anything with ethanol.
You hear Charlie talking about fallacies again?
Well, whatever.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you know what? I am thoroughly impressed with this truck, and I'll tell you why. It's almost impossible to burn 2 tanks of gas in this truck in a day. You run out of time.
Hey,
and as far as distance, it's, what are we getting, 600 plus miles? So, out of this
I'll be
thing easily. This little twin turbo engine is just purring like it is great.
And it's pulling a trailer too.
Oh well, maybe.
Well, hey, you see, well, you don't see it. Brad at Cajun Homestead said, "Hey, dude, Jesus was born in the desert."
He is. I'm still a crazy Canadian. You just need the snow, man. You need to have a snowman out there, and what fun is drinking hot chocolate when it's 25 above zero?
All I got to do is set a cup of chocolate on a hive, and then it becomes hot
There
chocolate.
you go. There you go.
So January, our average high is 56 degrees, and our low is 38, kind of like it is right now.
Huh.
February, our average low is 40 degrees, and our high is 60 degrees, average.
Yeah, see, our average low January, February is probably in the, I don't know, what would it be, Alan? Probably minus 25 to minus 30.
That's a negative 13 at minus 25.
So that would probably be our average high.
But that's a dry cold, right?
It is a dry cold, absolutely.
You know what? In doing a search for James, I stumbled on where'd it go? I stumbled on a product that I was really interested in, and then found out I can't get. They don't have any way to ship it here. They said I could arrange shipping, but I couldn't.
They won't ship it.
They won't ship it. So I don't know how to do that, but for the price, it might be worth looking for. If I can find it. So to give you an example, the cheapest extraction line I could find was why is this showing me? I don't want Polish, English.
Hey, while you're looking for that, you didn't come across what we were asking for by any chance, did you?
Yeah, from the same company, and it's like I want to say
we're contemplating going back up to Alberta that way. So they're in Utah, right?
Who?
That company?
Oh, no, with the I can't say it without giving it away.
That's right. We'll wait till tomorrow.
But no, I was looking at something else here, and it was an entire line with a 44 frame extractor, 14,000 US. And I know they use them overseas like crazy. What is going on here?
Well, I'm driving down the road. That's what's going on.
No, this is like.
Oh wait, I'm not sure the laws of the land, so I'm driving hands free down the road.
Oh yeah, as long as you don't wreck, you're good in the States. They won't, for the most part, they won't mess with you. Just don't wreck.
Actually, I think they'll probably take one look at me and say, that can't be right. I'm seeing things. I got to lay off, or it's way too late. They see an Alberta license plate in Mississippi, they're going to think, yeah, that's definitely not right.
Them boys ain't from around here.
Them boys is crazy.
But I think you can get this in Canada. Why can't I just find what I'm looking for? Anyway, apparently they've changed their website since I was on it the other day.
Is that 210?
All right.
214 a gallon down here. Like, you guys just giving this fuel stuff away, man.
That's $1 cheaper than what we pay here in Maryland.
That's like
must
we
be
literally
bunch
are paying almost what is it, $1? Oh, it's approaching $2 a liter. $1. The hell did we pay? Do you remember? $1.67 a liter. Yeah, I think it was like a buck. Oh, $1.35 a liter. So I mean, that's $1.35 times what is it? 3.84. That's what you guys be paying per gallon.
Yes, sir.
Not me.
Well, the other day I had this here was showing it in the. It was showing it in the U.S. funds, but it's not showing it anymore. So it's that Königin, right? But which is actually a German word for queen. König is a king, and if you add the in, it's feminine, so it's the queen. It's queen, but it's basically the same exact thing as the Lysen line. Only instead of a 40 framer, it is a 44 frame equipment here. And when you look at it on their homepage, for some reason it's not holding English in here. Here we go, reload it. There you go. It says from 15,000 euros. So probably 16 to 18,000. I think it was 18,000 with taxes included.
So that's like 300,000 Canadian.
Or yeah, they've actually got it in like Polish money here. So, and they carry Swinty and stuff like that. But I mean, that line for $18,000, if you buy the Lysen that looks exactly the same, it's 36,000 in the States.
Huh.
There it is. But when I hit it, what happens? Always translate Polish to English. There we go. Maybe that'll do it. Go back to home. But I mean, I was like, man, what do I got to do to get that?
You don't need it.
Yeah, I don't need it. Hell, I may not even have bees next year at this rate.
Oh,
there you go.
You're gonna
I have to find
lots of bees next year.
Somewhere to keep my bees. That's what we got.
Yeah, but don't you have some places to do that?
Yeah, I would have to move everything to them.
Oh yeah. That's minor.
So we'll see what happens. But
158 miles to go.
IGIN.
Well, is it going to show me? And I don't know the conversion from Polish money, but I just know what it showed me the other day. And they had, and you could add an unboxer and stuff. I don't know why it's not showing me the US site, or the English site it asked me what denomination I wanted on, and wanted and everything. And I had it in my cart because I was seriously trying to figure out how much it would be with shipping and everything, but it was a pretty good looking price. There it is. Nope, won't show it to me now. Maybe after I sent them an email inquiring about it, they're like, "Hey, maybe we need to change this." All right, so I got the catalog now. Let's see. Where's the line? Tank line. There's the line. Pro Series. Anyway, you can Google it. Everybody can Google it if they want to. I wish I could pull up there it is. There's the full line with the D-Boxer and the Reboxer on the other side. 44 frames. But it's in Polish.
Oh yeah, there you go. Actually, Alan's got the YouTube up on his phone here, so he can see it as you're going. That looks all right.
There is no shipping price on the Hilco creamer. He does free shipping on that stuff. But it's so yeah, that's things that I've been looking at. But I just gotta figure out how all this is gonna play out with needing to move my stuff and all that, or keeping it here, or I don't know. We'll see. We just gotta see what happens. See what happens with everything. And I'm surprised Brad and Todd haven't popped in here, because usually they will.
They're probably embarrassed that this Canadians drove clear across 2 countries.
The only thing I can say is it must have been a heck of a bargain for the drive.
You'll have to wait and see.
I did have a guy that sent me a price list on that used equipment and how many he's got of everything. He's got 500 deep foundations for $1 a piece. He's got 834 deep frames for $1 a piece.
That was the thing I sent you, didn't it?
No. This is a guy that that said he had used equipment he was getting out.
Oh, that was the guy with the list that didn't have any
numbers next to it. And after I messaged him, I'm like, hey, I would love to know how many you got, because I would possibly make him an offer on all of it, right? But by what he's got here, he wants, for everything, he wants $6,200. And
did you see that thing in Facebook that I sent you about the guys are making brand new frames
down in Georgia
someplace, $1 or $2 a piece?
Well, they got that place down in Mississippi where you can buy frames with foundation for $2. That's where I got those last boxes that I got. I think the boxes are $12 a piece unassembled, but the thing is, they're only 3/4. So
they haven't grown up yet.
They haven't grown up to that 6/8 or 7/8. So 6/8. So really, you're talking about between 3/4 and 7/8 is only 1/8 difference, right? So a 3/4 and 7/8 are only 1/4 inch difference. I'm sorry, 1/8 of an inch difference.
Eighth of an inch, but it makes a heck of a difference in your R value for the hive.
1/8 of an inch per side, right? So 1/4 of an inch thicker on each side. Or I mean, each side. So that's why I kept saying 6/8. No, it's not. Well, yes, it is. It's just 6/8 has been reduced to 3/4, right? Randy says he buys frames for 85 cents a piece. By the pallet, probably. So, frame feeders, $7. This drawn comb deeps, $28 for a box with drawn deep comb.
Is that made with beeswax or paraffin wax?
Should be beeswax. I mean, he's got, I mean, to give you an example, he's got 82 queen excluders, which means he's probably was running a bunch of hives, right?
There you go. Oh, this was okay. I get it. So this is the used equipment.
Yeah. Now their problem is what about used wax? Is that going to be good or bad? I mean, usually they say not to do that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. So it's an hour away from me. I don't even know. I mean, yeah, it's probably worth the drive to go check it out, right? So,
A whole hour?
yeah, each way, at least an hour.
You know, personally, I'm disappointed nobody drove over this way to see me.
Well, I've got a situation here, sir.
Well, no, I understand that with you.
It's the American slave master that's keeping us working.
There you go.
Migratory lids, $11. Solid bottom boards, $13.
How much?
$9 for a deep unassembled box. $9. He's got 38 of them. He wants $342 for 38 boxes. Some of this stuff might be too good to not go and get, right?
Well, it's only an hour away. Goodness gracious, you know.
It's not like you drive in 41 hours, Bob.
Yeah, but see, I would drive the hour, and if it wasn't something I wanted, I would turn around and drive home.
Well, that's what we may be doing. We're not sure yet.
Well, just think all that time that you'll save from loading up, you could just swing by and see some buddies. Like you passed right by Mark Miller's place there.
Oh, did I?
Yep.
See, I don't know where half of these people. I don't know where half of these people live. So,
Paul asked, "Where's your final destination?" Terry, Mississippi.
Terry, Mississippi. Yep.
But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. So I may go. I mean, it would help definitely switching everything to deeps. Mainly, I need the frames, right? So, I mean, 13. Well, 500 or $1,000 would get me 500 frames with foundation. $2 a piece.
That's pretty cheap.
Yep, I'd be assembling the crap out of some frames though. I'd be like James in my not so winter.
Yeah, well, we still got to do that too. We were trying to debate that exactly how many boxes we're going to order, how many frames we got to order yet. So, you know, making our plans for next year, what we're going to do, and it's all going to depend as to what we find down here.
Right.
So, but you know, it's been a great drive. Like we ran into both nights. The first two nights we ran into freezing ice fog. So, I mean, this morning when we came up to the truck, on the front of our mirrors and the grill and stuff, we had icicles about an inch. Oh, I'd say at least an inch standing off the mirrors and everything. But the roads, for the most part, have been great. You know, today has been absolutely awesome.
So, have you stopped and slept, or are you sleeping in the van truck?
Oh no, we stopped and got we stopped and get a hotel. We're not completely nuts. We're close, but not completely. So the first night we spent where in Regina, and then last night we were in Sioux
Now, how do you
City.
spell that?
It's like Regina. It's like Regina.
Oh, Regina. I thought it was something else there.
That's a great place to stay if you can spend the night there, Charlie. I mean, why not?
You guys are going to get me banned.
Why? Regina is an actual place. It's in Saskatchewan.
Oh man, I got stuff to contemplate here with. You know what's killing me is interest rates, right? So like with the house situation here, I don't know if we're going to have to sell it or what we're going to have to do, but financing or refinancing a place, the problem becomes, well, it goes from 4%, 4% interest that's on the current loan to, with excellent credit, 7.23%. So the price of the payments almost double, right? So it's that's been kind of the challenge on what to do. But we'll get it figured out. We'll get it figured out and get things taken care of one way or another.
It's not the.
My sister is staying here right now, so I got to discuss with her and hopefully my other sister what we're going to do. So at least when we go to the probate, we can show a united front as much as we can, right?
Well, why would you? Is there a will or not?
Yeah, but the will says supposedly to sell the place and split the funds. But that was also made before people had to live here and take care of her and everything else. So the best thing would be to be able to pay my sisters out, and do it. But you would have to get the appraisal and all that stuff on the property, and they would have to release it and stuff. So it's a process, right?
Biggest thing, if you guys can make a decision amongst yourselves and keep the banks and everything out of it.
Yeah, but the problem is if there's $150,000 in equity to go three ways, then you're looking at $100,000. Got $100,000 I can borrow, Charlie? Nor do I. Without going to the bank, right? So that's the only.
I might have to dip into my honey money on that one.
Yeah, you must have a big stash. I don't even have James's honey money for that. Well, how many pounds of honey is that, Charlie? $100,000. I only have to sell 10,000 jars of honey or something. Yep.
Is that what it is?
$10 times 10 times 10,000 is 100,000.
I have to raise the price up a little bit for that one.
I know. I might have to get some of that $25 a pound honey from somewhere.
Our listeners on here, Alan and I are trying to figure out which way to go back home. Somebody on there was saying something about snow in Wyoming.
Yeah, it's snowing. They're pretty much getting snow all the way up there now. No, you were just chopping up a little bit, but we can hear you now.
Hello?
So, yeah, we can hear you. I can hear you.
Yeah, we lost cell phone service.
No, we can still hear you. We can hear you, James. Now we can hear you listening to us. Let me see if I can winter weather here. That's how far of a delay there is. I'm gonna have to mute.
We were in a dead zone, guys.
Yeah, we could hear you the whole time. I could hear you. I can hear Alan's phone playing the video in the background, looping by.
Got her. Yeah, turn it back down.
But so it looks like right now, Iowa's got rain and snow. Wichita, Kansas has light rain. Central Minnesota's got some light snow and rain. I don't know what what's coming up though.
Going back up.
Let me see.
Through the north part of Texas, up through Montana to Alberta, like Wyoming and that way.
So you're thinking about going west and going Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, South Dakota, North Dakota. All right. Can you not hear me, James? Nope, you just lost us. So it's just me again. Yeah, so yeah, that's the deal there. I guess Charlie went to go make some popcorn.
No. Had to get a drink.
James dropped off.
Yeah, I heard.
But there he is again. Still there?
Yeah, we must have switched towers. We can hear you now.
All right, cool. So you're thinking about going a different way back home?
Well, we're contemplating, but we have to cross the border in Alberta. So we've got between Homeland Security and the Canadian Border Services, we've got things arranged. If this deal goes good, that we have to cross at the Coots Crossing in Alberta.
I'll tell you what, I got a interesting photo that someone sent me, which I'm going to show here. And it's an appy tablet. And if you see the appy tablet, you see all these brown dots right here.
That's mites.
Mites that are dead on top of the appy tablet. So it was really kind of interesting, the story of
their crappy service down here. It's as bad as ours in Alberta.
Oh, it'll get better.
Oh, there you go.
It'll get better.
You're back.
Let me see what the best way. Let me just download this photo and open it. It'll be easier. There we go. All right, now I can actually zoom in some. There's obviously this is the spot that was between the frames, right? So it'd been sitting on a frame, and this is the gap in between. Or it might have been right underneath it. That might be a top bar. But there was 52 dead mites that I counted right on the tablet. Now, I bring this picture up because
it looks like they've been eating it. See the pockets in there?
So the story I got was the person that was trying this put it on a weak colony and they absconded. And I said, well, was it a nuke? He said, yeah, it was a nuke. I said, well, first of all, you're only supposed to give them half a tablet. But secondly, I've got them on all my colonies. I haven't had an abscond. But if you've got 52 mites that are stuck right on this tablet, you had other problems with that colony prior to using this Appy tablet, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, they
So
absconded because they're loaded with mice.
it's and I think we're all guilty of it. We try something new and we're like, oh, it's got to be that's doing it. Well, I don't think that's
How
the case.
how come people aren't properly assessing their hives and looking after, I mean, I've got a pest management controls plan that I've got developed and I have set up. And if I go out and I do my shakes and my tests and I end up with this result, I do that. If I end
Right.
up with a different result, I do something else. Like, people don't have a system like that set up here. Like they don't look to see where they're at and what's happening. Like that's a pile of mites there.
Well, what I'm realizing in my own situation, and I think people, you know how we always say the bees will tell you how many hives you should have, right?
Correct.
And I think what we do is we have these delusions of grandeur that we want to have X number of colonies. This person that sent me this picture has 350 colonies. They own a bee store and they work full time. So in my mind, and I don't know this to be the case, this is just how my train of thought works, is that they don't have the excess time to effectively manage their colonies. And this year, as we talked, I try to have a more proactive approach as compared to a reactive approach, right? And when I say that, I mean, like you're proactive, you have a plan and you stick to that plan and you work that plan as compared to letting the bees go and oiling the squeaky wheels, right? So,
oh yeah, if I did that, I'd be, we'd go out to the apiary and we'd see a swarm, and I'd be, well, Alan would kind of maybe laugh at me, but I'd be hitting the panic button. It's like, well, where did they come from? I want to know where they came from, and I want to know what hive they came from, and how did I miss that?
So, like, if you oh, you're cutting in and out again, James.
Oh yeah, I got you.
Okay, so most people around here, and including Bob Binney this weekend, said that, and Charlie said it, August, treat for mites in August. Well, if you do my Appy tablet video, I pulled it out after, well, I'd never pulled it out, but I did the video on September 20th for a month, which means it got in there in August, right? So if you're putting it in late, may just already be overwhelmed prior to that happening. But these are all dead mites. I mean, this is actually a box that doesn't have any bees in it at the moment. That was just the tablet. I don't know if he set it there or what, but very little of it has been consumed, which means it hadn't been in there that long. And there's 52 mites on here, right here, that I counted. These.
See, I'd be looking at something else with that. I mean, if those bees abscond and they had that many mites on there, means they probably took a good chunk of mites with them. Where did they go? And that's why I get, I get a little antsy when I have a fellow beekeeper that has hives really, close to mine or too close to mine, because I'm not sure what they have for a pest control plan. And the last thing I want to do is their bees to infest mine. And I mean, they obviously overlap, right?
Right. So yeah, that's the I mean, obviously it's doing something, or there wouldn't be 52 dead mites on there. Now I think a lot of it, you just don't know when the bees were trying to tell you that they were going to leave, right? Maybe you just didn't get to work that side of the colony or that area or that apiary on a day that you were supposed to go out there, and then you're like, well, I don't have time to do that now. I'll get them on the next time around. And by that time, they've already decided, well, see ya, we're out of here, right? So,
I sent you a picture, Bob, of what the bees look like in the bee barn there just before I left.
Yeah, I've got that one in my phone here.
I don't know.
But I'm like James
bring
there.
that up.
I have a mite treatment program, and I know. I mean, the first thing everybody here has to understand: when is your flow over with? Does it start? When does it over with? My flow was from April to the end of June. I start my mite treatment program around the third week of July, and I treat with 3 different products. And this year it was the first product was Aprivar until the 1st of September. Then we had a hot streak of about 100-degree weather one week, and after that it was Formic Pro because we had 75 degrees with low humidity for 2 weeks. Then I fed for so many weeks, and now I treat at least twice. I try to treat at least twice a month throughout the wintertime up until March with oxalic acid vapor to mop up anything. And last year, the National Honeybee Survey came in and took samples, and I came back with a 0.2 infestation, which is a 1.0 is acceptable.
Well,
that's
James's.
I'd say keep doing what you're doing.
Oh, absolutely. That's my program, and it works.
This was right before James left to go on his road trip there. He sent me this photo, and that's his cluster all the way down, touching the bottom board and back up, right? So,
all right, so that's the front entrance to the box.
Yeah, front entrance. So quite a bit different than, a lot of no, not 80 grams of thymol. The whole tablet is 60 to 70 grams, and it's got 9%. So it's about 7 grams of thymol per tablet.
So those beads, Bob, there was only about 2 frames on the right hand or the left hand side that they weren't covering, and they were literally from the front of the box all the way to the back of the box. So I mean, we still have some pretty good boxes of bees happening there.
Yeah, Bob Binney. I'm not going to put words in Bob's mouth, but what he did say was when we were talking about the tablets, he said, how much thymol's in each one? And I told him 7 grams. And he said, oh, well, that's, he started comparing it immediately to Apogard, right? So Brad and I figured it out yesterday that there's really about 42% less thymol in a Appy tablet than there is in the Apogard, right? So I think the main difference is I don't know how much. I've never used Apogard, but I think it's don't they say 250 ml or two doses of 50 milligrams or something like that? I've never used it.
Yeah, it's a dose every 2 weeks, and it's 50 grams, I think it is.
So my ground zero hive, after, let me see, if September 20th was a month, so we'll say September, October, November, it's been in there for 3 months straight with a small dose of thymol. Well, compared to Apogard, right? So it's very extended release. So how many brood cycles are going through and hatching out and getting fed and getting the thymol to wipe out residual mites as it goes along? I don't know. I'm just posing the question, is it keeping it at a manageable amount? I'm not saying that it's going to wipe them all out and that I'm not saying not to do any mite treatment. What I am saying is I think it's a good control over a
But
extended
you're
period.
missing something. You're missing something else there too, Bob. But it's also providing two other benefits there. So one, if it's keeping the mites down, you're going to keep your viruses down for your bees. And two, they're still getting all of the supplements from that tablet.
Right. All of them. So I kind of, when I put the other one on that colony, I was looking at it more as like, well, people are putting sugar bricks out, right? And they're mixing a bunch of stuff in it. So if they get cold days and they don't have any way to get out, then maybe they just gnaw on. They're just eating up the Appy tablet, right? So
how, with thymol being in there, is the delivery system where they're ingesting the thymol?
yes, it doesn't. It's not an off gas. It's actually them ingesting it and passing it from B to B, right? When they eat, they pass it from B to B. And from what I'm told, I cannot scientifically prove this. I can only go what the manufacturer told me in their delivery method, right? Is that the bees consume it, the thymol gets stored in the fat body and in the, right?
Right.
And then the mites are ingesting that through the bee and it's killing them and they die. That's it. That's how I was told it works. I haven't done a scientific test to prove that, but next year we will have stuff to see what is happening. So,
well, I look at it this way. It's like you say, it's a long delivery system that, can help, not only give them that thymol, but also gives them sugar.
Gives them sugar. It gives them the other essential oils, right? Whatever that blend is, I don't know. But at the same time, helping eliminate some pests from the colony. So I really like the product. Let me see. Are they still? Oh, they're still talking about Applegate in the chat. But the last batch thymol was left out, putting both in hives as a side-by-side comparison. Mike, did you get Appy tablets? Or are you talking about something else in there? I don't know. So the thymol supposed to stay in there because it's in the concoction, right? In the tablet. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's not like Apricot. Apricot off gases.
Right.
And you either put 50 grams every 2 weeks or 25 grams every week for 4 continuous weeks, or 33 grams for 3 weeks.
Right.
It's basically 100 grams for a total of 30 days. And
so
the problem I have with it, I've got a tub of it sitting here. I was going to use it this year. And you have to remember a few things about it. Number one, it's going to shut the queen down. So if you put it in there in September, that's the wrong time of month for me because I want them to build up for winter. So I need to put it in there July into August. And that's one of the hottest times it is around here. It's in the 85 to 90 degree mark. Now, temperature wise, it's fine, is what they say on the label. But is that high humidity going to double the intensity of that product? That's what's concerning me.
Right.
So that's why I used Aprivar, which is non-temperature sensitive. And from what I've heard from another beekeeper, they've had good results with it on the new strips, which I think they've reformulated the delivery method. Not so much, they can't do nothing about the product itself.
All right, so Robert says the only downside to the tablet is they have to be bitten by the mite, leaving a huge hole in the bee. Well, what I'm assuming is that they're already on my bees, right? And I'm getting that off of there. So Um, so, I mean, to assume, I mean, I don't trust the test anyway, right? It's just something that, I don't know. I think it just makes us feel better. I mean, that we can look at something and do a shake. Okay, we got 10 mites. All right, next time we shake it, oh, we got 5 mites. You know, um, so I think it is a resource, a guideline resources, resource for doing it. But um, with the tablet, yeah, definitely. I'm not telling anybody not to do their mite treatment, right? Because I'm not going to be responsible uh, if you don't, and then your hives die. However, I've seen with my own eyes that
you're starting to sound like me, Bob.
What? Oh yeah, CYA, right?
Yeah. Hey, Russell, I don't know what the percentage
Yeah,
of
exactly.
guard is in the hive after 100-gram treatment.
Look, Ian was flipping through and found us.
Evening, Ian.
Did you make it home? I evidently you made it home already. Let me see. Yeah,
I was giving him a hard time yesterday. I told him I was going to beat him home. I was going to be home before he got home.
So I got to tell you guys a story if you don't know it yet. So Ian said, several months ago, hey, when I see you, I'm going to buy you a beer. So after the show the last weekend, we went to dinner, and Uncle Bob was there. King Bob was there, and Ian was there, and John Robertson was there, and some other people. And Ian's like, "Okay, Bob, I'm going to buy you a beer," and so he orders 2 Coronas, right? One for me, one for him, and we drink it, and then Bob picked up the tab for everything. So
That's nice.
I told Ian, Ian, if I knew Bob was going to pay, I would have bought you a beer too. I would have bought him more beers. But it was just we had fun. Ian's definitely my kind of guy, where just down to earth, salt of the earth person, and can take a joke, So the best beer bought is
but I was going to say that just it's a free beer. Yeah, I was going to say that just goes to show you how the beekeeping, how beekeepers are, and how everybody is kind of one big family, Bob. I mean, that just speaks to how the community is.
Oh yeah, I mean it's been I can't say enough. I mean, even just look at this last year, 2023. Just on this stream, I'm sure there's other streams that have done it, right? But people donated for Tim and Hannah's new bee suits, right? They donated for the 4-H club in Canada, right? I was on Tim and Hannah's stream and bought $500 of accessible beekeeping's Henry and the Honeybee to give out to people, right? The continued super chats and stuff, and man, my phone has been so busy with people thinking about my situation right here with my mom and everything, and well wishing and stuff like that. So it's really I don't think there's any other beekeeping. I don't think there's any other kind of YouTubing community that's like that. So yeah, I mean, I'm totally impressed with it. Now, here's an issue that I have, guys. We are we'll say a month from today to Hive Life, right? Or I'm sorry, Nabi. I don't know that I'm going to be able to go at this point, right? Because we know, based on what the nurses say, that my mom's only got days left, not weeks or anything like that. But then once that happens, you got the whole funeral arrangements, all the other stuff going on that goes along with that. And I don't know that I'll be able to utilize my tickets to Hive Life. So if not, I don't know if they're sold out yet or not, but we will. Maybe it's a if you can't find a ticket or didn't get a ticket, maybe it's something that I sell. Maybe it'll be something I give away. I don't know. But if I can't go, then I would definitely like somebody use it. And I know Cayman would probably give me a refund if I could get in touch with them and blah, 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 all the other stuff that goes along with it, which is exactly why I haven't booked my hotel room yet, because I knew it was going to come down to the end. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. If there's somebody that might be interested in them and can make that trip, then maybe it's something. If you didn't get a ticket, reach out to me. Refund through 12/20. Okay, maybe I'll send Cayman a message and see if I can get them to refund them if it comes down to that. But then again, it might be something that maybe it's one of those things to where you're like, well, after all this stuff that's gone on and everything's done, maybe it's something that we want to just get away for a few days and go there. So
that's what I'm thinking. If it's days, I mean, you have your proceedings that you have to do after the death.
right.
After that, it's like it's over and done with, except for
The court stuff.
The other stuff, the house and your family matters. But I would think it's like, you know what? Let's get out of Dodge and have a good time with friends. That's my opinion.
Unfortunately, I will not be joining anybody at either the expo or Hive Life this year. This is obviously my big trip for the year.
Well, you spent all your money.
Well, not yet. Maybe that's tomorrow.
Hey, I think you need to swing by here and drop that second thing off you got there.
Well, how many hours did you say you are from let's say Memphis?
Oh, Memphis. Shoot, you're getting further away from me there, I think. Let me see.
All right. What about Mississippi here? What about Jackson?
Let me see.
I thought you were like 9 hours or something.
I was 9.5 hours to Biloxi.
Okay.
Let me see.
That's a long haul.
Distance to Jackson, Mississippi. 9 hours. It's 9 hours.
Hotter than a pepper sprout.
Everything's 9 hours away.
Yeah.
612 miles.
Yeah, that's a quarter of the way home.
I thought you might be heading up towards the bug farmer in Atlanta or something.
No, we've discussed it. We're not sure which way we're going.
But Memphis would be probably the same type of distance there. Let's see if I drag it up here to Memphis.
Yeah,
9 hours and 4 minutes. So it's like exactly. Well, sorry, it's nothing's exact, but yeah, they're both 9 hours away.
I am.
Say hey to Elvis when you go by.
Hotter than a pepper sprout. So Ian had
you get that.
Go ahead.
Johnny Cash.
Hotter than a $2 pistol.
No. That's why I said it was hotter than a pepper sprout. But we're all going down to Jackson. Da 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 da.
Oh yeah.
The song Jackson.
And So yeah, so that's the stats there. But Ian had me thinking because he asked me a question I couldn't answer at the show. So yesterday I came home and that's why I did the inspections, because he asked me, well, how many frames of brood do you have right now? And that's why I went to that colony, and it was like 2.5 frames of brood. And I think I told him 2 to 3 frames. So I was right on where it should have been. So
that's awesome. I mean, that's
was
probably right where you want them right now.
Well, that was the ground zero hive, right? The one that had the big mite drop with the Appy tablet. That was the one, and it's got 2.5 frames. And some of those, I mean, I pretty much just checked the top, right? Kind of like you guys would check the bottom for the cluster strength. I was just looking in the top to see. And yeah, I got some boxes of bees. So definitely better looking boxes of bees than I had last year going into the winter. So very optimistic on this next year. And hopefully it
when does your winter end, Bob?
Oh, it ended last week.
Yeah, no doubt. I was going to say, when does your nectar flow start?
Tomorrow.
Probably tomorrow. Well, our nectar flow, I mean, the spring flow where things start kicking off.
Yeah.
Probably first week of February.
Oh, geez, you're just about out of the woods then.
Yeah, that's. I mean, then I start. Then so the topic becomes make sure they don't get pollen bound in the colony, because I was going to say,
when are you going to kick them in gear?
I'm kicking them in now, trying to get them started, but it's still. I mean, we still got. January is typically our coldest month. So people around here like to start splitting around Valentine's Day, the middle of February. Last year, I purposefully didn't do that and tried to let them get stronger in the box before I did that. I mean, that was our whole discussion, right? Yours and mine, about trying to make strong splits and stuff like that. Right. So that's
remember we talked about that. I was going to say we talked about that too. So start rolling that calendar back now, Bob. Roll that calendar back. Make sure that they're not going to have too much. Don't kick that queen in too early so that you don't have the bee power to keep them warm. But start doing that planning now and roll that calendar back as to when you want to really kick that queen into gear.
Yeah, that's the trick, right, for us, because our temperatures kind of fluctuate all the time with flying range. I mean, they only have a few hours of really cold weather, right? So, like that example I showed you earlier, it's supposed to get 29, but it's only, or 34 or whatever it was that I showed you, but it's only going to be that way for like a couple hours, and then all of a sudden it's back at 46, right? Which is, you guys keep them at 40 because that's when they clustered, but 46 they're already kind of breaking cluster and doing their thing a little bit. So
yeah, but if you take a look at us, I'll bring them out of the bee barn. I'll give them a week or so, and then I'm hammering the pollen patty, and I'm hammering them with 1-to-1 sugar water, and that's usually about I'm going to say first or second week of April.
Right.
And I want to get that queen going, and we're still probably, in freezing temperatures every night, or a very good chance of it being freezing temperatures every night. But that's going to take them, that little bit of time to get that queen stimulated. She's not going to start full bore right off the get-go. So, what we should do is we should touch bases, because I've got that all built in an Excel sheet. Now, the numbers don't always work that way with so many variables, temperature, all of that. But it does give you a general idea as to when you really want to stimulate that colony and that queen to get her going.
Well, that's kind of been the the things that I've been trying with the flying, what I'm trying to avoid is that starve out at the end of the season. But I'm trying to do that by feeding them all along so they're not using as much resource in the colony, right? And if they do get excess from the feed, they're storing it, which that really pays dividends at the end of the winter, right? When the spring starts.
Well, and that you got to be careful there too, because you don't want them plugged out. You want them to have that room when you go to stimulate them. That open comb needs to be available.
Right. So right now
it's a balancing act.
Yeah, I mean it's the thin gray line that we mess with all the time. But Ian's thought they're talking cattle. They're talking cattle. They won grand champion, right? That's good.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Todd, how are you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
Did you get your syrup mixed up?
Yeah, finally did.
You know us crazy southern beekeepers and our feed? What the hell?
You know, while I was doing that, James was commenting about how low the gas prices were or are.
He hadn't been to California yet.
He should drive 1,700 miles west, and if he's missing high prices, they're all over the place over here.
Make him feel right at home.
Yeah. I filled up today at $4.29 a gallon, and that's low.
Yeah, because the last time you sent me a picture was damn near $6 a gallon.
Yeah, and I saw a $7 a gallon sign, not on that same trip.
Really?
Yep. That was first week of October when I was going out to the coast.
It's $3.15.
I think I'll stay away from. I'll stay away from California then.
Well, you might catch.
When you just go to California, you can catch cancer. I think the whole state is Prop 56.
It's 65.
65? Prop 65 then.
There's a big sticker on this. When you cross the border, it says, "Welcome to California." There's a Prop 65 sticker right on.
I wouldn't doubt it, yeah. California may cause cancer.
But anyway, so yeah, I was doing the syrup thing and got that figured out. Got to get my pollen out there.
So oddly enough, let me see if I pull the map of the U.S. up here. There's Alex. Hey, Alex.
How are you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
Okay.
Let me see. Some of these look like cheesy maps. That's not the one that I'm looking for.
The other thing I'm going to comment on you guys for? These interstate highways. Oh, they're awesome.
You guys don't have those?
Well, we do. I mean, our Highway 16X is full of potholes, and it's missing more pavement than probably is there. But and that's kind of our one that goes, across the provinces. So there's another one down on the south end of the provinces that's pretty good. But Highway 1 is pretty darn good. But I mean, yeah, I'm doing well. I'm doing your 70 miles an hour, quote unquote. Okay, maybe.
How many clicks is that? How many clicks an hour is that?
70. That's what is it? 72 miles an hour is 117 kilometers an hour.
That sounds really nice.
So, but your highways down here are awesome.
Yeah, but don't you get up there and like the Dakotas? Don't they have that fast as you can drive as fast as you want?
Yeah, well, we were doing 80 up there. Yeah, so I think it was 80 miles an hour is what they had posted.
Yeah.
we were doing that and maybe a little bit, maybe a little bit more.
Yeah.
If you drive that
I mean, no,
here, you'll get
we-
run over if you drive the speed limit.
We were doing exactly the speed limit. We were doing exactly 80. And anybody believes that? Man, I got something I can sell you.
So, I always thought that Todd and I were on similar
Parallels.
but you're actually north of me. So I'm right over here, right? South Carolina.
It's cold up here, eh?
Right in the central. And if you go due west from where I'm at, I'm kind of more like a little bit north of Dallas, like North Texas.
You're LA.
Like LA, but you're up in here somewhere, right?
I'm
Fresno.
yeah, right up there.
So you're more along Kansas, Missouri, Kentucky, Virginia.
Probably pretty close to Charlie.
Now I'm north of that.
Oh,
You're almost to Richmond, north of Richmond.
So get this, guys. You mean I'm the furthest south beekeeper here right now? That's kind of just that's
on the
screwed
channel.
up.
On the channel. So what town are you at now? Where are you at now?
We just crossed. What is it? We're on I-55, and we just crossed 31.
31.
Down there, Jackson, ain't he?
31, 32. I see 32. He's coming down 55 here.
Slide it up right there across 30's Jackson, isn't it?
This is 20.
Actually, I'm
right
just
here.
going over top of 87. It's called Kennedy Road.
Oh, yeah. Well, let me see. 55, 433, 12, 14, 35.
We're playing Where's Waldo, or rather, where's
James? Where in the world is Jamin San Diego?
Yeah. James and Alan, you never know where we're going to end up.
Well, I know where you're going to end up. Terry, Mississippi. You're going right here to Terry. You're going to get there tonight and stay there tonight, and then get up. And
Any place to stay?
Oh yeah, we're all actually only an hour and 18 minutes from Perry, Mississippi here right now. So
all right. Well,
we're easily going to get there tonight. It's only like 8:41 our time.
Nope.
no, it's 9:40.
9:41.
Well, it's 9:41 here, but we're still on Alberta
Right.
time.
Oh,
There's Baton Rouge.
That's close to Hannah, isn't it?
Tim and Hannah are over here near
Mobile.
Mobile, and they're going to be over here.
Yeah, I was asking her last night if we went over to see them, they were she would make biscuits and stuff. Not sure we're gonna make it there,
You're breaking up pretty bad.
but you never know.
Never know. But yeah, you're. I would like to say you're making good time for the trip, but there is no good time when you're driving 40 hours each way. Oh, you just lost me. Might have gotten an email from you, James. Hold on. To refresh it. Yep. All right, I'll see what I can do for you there, James. I'm off tomorrow. I'll try to make one up.
got a question, Bob.
Sure.
If you, let's say you're making your own syrup, right?
Uh-huh.
And if you could buy it for 50 cents more already made, what would you do?
Oh, yeah, I'd buy it. When you say 50 cents more, you mean per gallon?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm done, man. Because for 40 gallons, you're talking about an extra $20.
Yeah.
Yeah, done. Be done. I wouldn't. I would not waste my time.
Yeah. That's where
Not only time, but I wouldn't waste my back.
Yeah. Yeah. And run
And
around buying sugar.
what are you mixing it with, Todd?
Just water.
No. How are you mixing it?
Just water. I piss in it twice a day just to make sure.
Just minerals. Got to get the minerals in there. Now, I have it in well, I have 2 barrels. I have a 55-gallon drum and I have a 30-gallon drum. Oh, plastic drum. And I use a trolling motor. And I run it off a car battery. So
Now, what are you buying? Pre-mix syrup?
it's 2-to-1 straight out of Dayton.
So it's like Pro Sweet, right?
Huh?
It's like Pro Sweet.
Yeah, it's a little thinner than that, but yeah, but the thing is, it's already made. If I'm going to feed 2-to-1, why am I busting my huevos
Are you
over
buying,
50 cents?
buying a tote full or what?
No, but I can.
So how much is it a gallon?
I think it's 605 last time I was in there.
$6.
$6.05 a gallon.
Yeah.
I'm spoiled. So
Yeah.
you're talking about.
We've been saying that for a long time, that you're just robbing that sugar syrup.
So you're saying that it's $30-some per bucket.
I can make it for $5.55, and I could buy it for $6.05.
But can you make? Wait a minute, you can make it for $5.55. Sugar's 18
$18.79.
But you need
Divide that by 7.4.
You need 50 pounds, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, just divide it by 7.4. So you've got 1876 or 1879 divided by 25, and then you times that by 7.4, and that's what you get. That's your per gallon price, and it's $5.55. And I'm like, well, why am I doing all this when I could just go pick it up for 50 cents more?
Do they have a minimum quantity of order that you have to?
No, I could go in there with a 5-gallon bucket and say, fill it up.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see, I wish we had something like that. We got nothing. The closest place would be Bee Made in out by Edmonton, and that's 4.5 hours away.
Yeah, but that's just a Sunday drive for you, James.
Well, actually, there's quite often people drive out there, do some shopping, and drive back the same day. Absolutely.
I got Sebastian coming in, but I don't see his video yet, so it might take him a second. It's getting customs that's got him stopped up.
But I'm sitting here doing all this crap and trying to dissolve sugar and thinking, well, why am I doing this? I could just go buy it for 50 cents more, a gallon.
That's still high. Do you get a discount if you buy more?
No. Yeah, a
just
discount I didn't. No. No. So, I mean, the price of sugar just keeps going up. 2 years ago, I paid $8 for a 25-pound bag. Now I'm paying almost $11 more.
So
What do we pay? $27 a bag for a 25 kg bag?
Well,
that's 50 pounds of sugar.
Hang on, let me find the price again. It's $18.76 per 25-pound bag. So 18.76 divided by 25 is 75 cents a pound. It times that by 7.4, and it gives you $5.55. So I don't know. Why am I doing this?
I just did some math. It cost me $4.08 a gallon.
How
For 2 to
much?
1?
to make 2 to 1 or almost 2 to 1.
Yeah, and that's my price is $5.55 for 2 to 1.
Well, it's 65 cents a pound at a 50-pound bag.
Dang. I
And
can't find 50-pound bags out here.
So what you're saying is I should buy it for $2 a gallon and sell it for $5 a gallon and make a killing.
You could be a syrup broker.
Syrup broker.
Yeah.
Hey,
Go get it.
hey,
I don't know.
Sebastian.
That could be a sticky situation.
Hey, Sebastian, good to see you. Congratulations on all your victories on your vegetables.
Oh, Sam.
Okay,
Can't hear
hear you,
you.
Sebastian.
I said lots of work. So are you hearing me now?
Yep.
Yeah, lots of work and lots of stress we have because I'm pretty sure you did. So my video, one of my videos I posted in, we have the Asian hornet and massive in the war basically we have now. So and I could see you have the same problem now already. Now we have a 5 nests find in the US. How far is that from you, Bob? How far is that?
I didn't see the link, so I don't know where they found them at.
No, but they did find them in 5. I see. Bob was post a video with Louis from the University, Georgia University, and they
They were
did find
doing
them.
the yellow-legged ones, right? That's what you're talking about?
Yes, that's the one. Yeah, that's what called Asian hornet, Vesta Valupi, whatever. That's the same ones. So just to be saying this, I think I did post it on my YouTube video, and there's a lot of information in there, how they do in UK and how you do in US and all that action. I think is the biggest problem is they come and now they need to be basically find them. I think the one of the most important thing is to send to the public and all of beekeepers a correct picture of the Asian hornet. Very, very important because a lot of people in the newspapers or will say, "Oh, more the hornet turn up." It was like in UK, they posted about hornets, and someone actually turned it over in the paper, say, "More the murdered hornet turn up in UK." So it's very important to give the public correct information because I think public it's one of the most important thing to actually help destroy every single nest or everything find. They can't do damage in the beekeeping. I will tell you this now. They can't. I actually was on the conference, Asian Hornet conference, which we organized. That we done it, and there was a guy where he lost the 16 hives. He lost them in 4 days. So he only saw a couple of hornets on the front of the hives. They've been messing about, and he turned up on day 5, and there's all the hives. What he was in that location was dead. Basically, hornets in the hunting on the bees what coming in working, and they just chopped it up and left it basically just to have bees in the hives, whatever left in the hives, which is most of the noodles bees and few of the guards, and then just basically docked them off. So they are danger not just for beekeeping, but they're also danger for public as well. We didn't know. I'm actually planning going in 2024 to Jersey for 2 weeks, actually working, trapping, and marking, and actually be part of removing nests in Jersey. That'll be next year. Already doing working on this booking, and because you have to be booking that time, be there, and everything. That's all by government. They have to be there, license. You have to get. They give you license to do this and all that stuff. So that's my plan. I want to do this. I already put my name forward for that. Very, very important. It's very good. You could acknowledge. Imagine France remove loads. I don't know how many numbers they have removed nests. It's nobody know. So in
I
US where you are, Bob, I'm telling you this now, guys. Really, need to be spreading word, run across the country, especially area where is warm, like you don't have a winter, Bob. And they are very, very danger in that area because they will basically living all the time. They will just breeding and breeding and breeding like bees, and uh, and they will not be easy to get them tracked basically. So yeah, guys, they basically come and then there have to be some solution to find them how to destroy it. So um, I have 5 nests was found next to very close to my hives. I did saw some activity, but I didn't saw anything on the front of my hives. I was really lucky of that because one of my apiary was about a mile away from the nest what they've been found. I was really worried because that's the area where they could looking for food. So I was really lucky, didn't see any there. But that was not very big nest yet. That was the time. That was back in mid-September. They removed the nest. They find the nest, and 4 days later, the nest was dead. Um, so in UK, they have a team working. Bee inspectors. They're tracking and tracing everything. They don't messing about. They as soon as they find the nest, they basically destroy. And then 4 days later, they destroy the nest. Sometimes they're staying next to the nest even another week. Someone watching out if the hornets coming back, they trying catching them in and destroy it basically. But all of the nests going to the science, basically they do the lab to find what's exactly is going on, where they're from, all the DNA, try and find out what is going on. Very important information. Yeah, so it's quite interesting. So I'll just let you know, guys. I was not be on lives or anything. I watching you guys. Don't worry that I watching you, but being so busy with bees and trying to do things in life is not easy. Especially when you get so much pressure on thinking you go hives and then you go bloody hornets turn up. It's not good.
Have they been
So yeah,
wiping your colonies out? Have you had
no,
any colony
no,
loss?
no, no, I didn't. But you got to watch out. You got to be more often go down there checked. And more often you go. Some people just I know some beekeepers they go every 2 weeks to the hives. 2 weeks they might be empty, man. There'll be hornets inside. You know what I mean? So you don't know. Um,
Right.
so very important for me. It's they did remove 72 nests in UK this year, destroy them. This is what they find. This is what they find in 55 locations in UK. Are all in most of them in southern region in UK. So imagine how many nests produce the queens, um, and how many queens can fly out. Quite few. So if they're surviving 25% of the nest queens surviving, hibernating over winter somewhere, we have a big problem. We could end up with 500-600 nests in one season. So that was the same. Back 2016, they have a one nest, and they have a break nothing, 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 and they have a couple of nests. And then, as far as I remember last year they got a couple of nests last year. Now, look, 72 find. They find 72. So this is where people did find activity, beekeepers and public. But now it's a massive public awareness. We actually set up WhatsApp. Me and my friend we set up a WhatsApp group where we have about 70 members from all southern UK, and we try and make a public awareness to the people how to reach the people quick as you can, because the quickest they know, the better people will know, because people are drink a cup of tea, they have a lunch or breakfast in there, they could see them coming in, because they're quite active, they're very active, they're looking for food always, looking for sweet stuff, they like meat as well, they like meat there is a favor for them, so not always, but they are fish especially. So very important to public, customers and public, they know about this, because government, they're useless. In UK government, they're useless. So um, before they know, they will take a time, probably quite a long time, So it's not easy to find that. So
Right.
yeah. So did you done anything research about this?
Not really. I haven't. I've seen some of the posts and stuff. I guess where Sharon's
Yeah.
down there in Savannah, they've got they spotted some down that way. But
Yeah.
I
How far
get
that is to you? How far?
4 hours or so.
So how many miles is this?
I don't know, 300 maybe.
300
See.
miles. Well, so you have a look. Kent, southeast UK. So this year they find in end of early September, August 8th of September, they find in 53 location in one of the region, Mass region, find a nest in there. And then they find three big nests up in north, which is about 270 miles away from this area.
I lied. It's
So
165 miles.
yeah, so they're flying quite long. They can't fly, especially when there's a wind. Winning, how to say, winning their ass. They can go fucking bloody long, you know. So watch out, guys. They watch out for the buggers and they get them out because soon as you get them out, it's better life for beekeeping and for everybody else.
Right.
So anyway, I hope you're doing good, everyone. James, I see traveling. James, is James there still or not?
They got everybody muted themselves
Yeah. All right.
except James. And he just dropped. So
He dropped. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going back to work.
all right,
I'll
brother.
I'll catch you on the weekend probably when Charlie have his live stream. Like pop up maybe over there.
Okay.
All right, sounds
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Oh my man.
See you then.
Talk to you later.
See you
See you
later.
later, guys. Stay safe.
Yep, you too.
Bye.
See you later. Bye bye.
So yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that. One more thing to watch out for. So anyway, guys, it is now a special yellow jacket trap if they break out, right?
Yeah, that's what Bob Benny's video was about.
Yeah.
So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But it's 11 o'clock straight up here. So we've been going for a little over 2 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to be shutting the live stream portion down. Because I know Charlie's got to get to bed because he's got to wake up early. And, Todd's got to go to bed because he goes to bed like an old man way too early.
Hey, the sun's down already.
All right, guys. Well, you have a good evening, and we will talk to you guys on the next stream tomorrow night on Lee's channel. So, all right, guys.
See you later.
See ya.
Good night.